So I have the first QD OLED monitor in the Alienware AW3423DW, and I really enjoy this monitor's editing capabilities with its creator mode and its vivid, impactful images with HDR 1000. It even increases the SDR brightness by a tremendous amount, and it got me thinking, how would 16:9 images look, say on a real TV? And just as I was thinking that, Samsung has announced the first QD OLED TV released to the market in the QN55S95B, a 55 and 65-inch version of its QD OLED TV technology. You can see this will be here on the channel very soon, as it's releasing in a couple of weeks. And we'll get into all the features, especially the gaming portion, as I love my smooth motion gaming, and this really looks to have an OLED equivalent of the Samsung Game Motion Plus. Plus, I'll be showing you some video footage and pictures of the Alienware AW3423DW versus the Samsung Odyssey G7 32-inch model, showcasing 21:9 versus 16:9, so you can see the differences, and I'll be telling you more or less what I like and don't like from each monitor, and if you should consider upgrading from the G7 to the QD OLED monitor. Let's get into it. Alright friends, you can see available on Amazon for pre-order and Samsung.com. The first ever QD OLED TV will be available very soon at a not so crazy price for the 55-inch version. I will be getting the 55-inch version as I love my 55-inch QN90A mini LED TV. It will be awesome to versus these two, as I know the QN90A or QN90B will destroy this in total impact brightness, but there is something to say with this OLED technology and the smoothness I've been able to experience on the monitor version. Plus with that true RGB color, it looks amazing, and I do want to experience that and to show you so you can see the differences. Maybe you're in the market for a new TV. You can see here with its 8.3 million specifically designed self-lit pixels, and it does have the Quantum processor with 4K upscaling. Experience everything you watch transformed to 4K by 20 AI-powered neural networks, Quantum HDR OLED, Dolby Atmos and object tracking sound, and a laser slim design. You can see how thin this TV looks. It looks awesome, and it probably will be my thinnest display that I own. And we all know it's QD OLED in TV form, beautiful colors, also a brighter than standard OLED screen. But one thing I want to bring to everyone's attention, and it made me super happy, is that it does have the Motion Accelerator Plus Turbo, 4K at 120Hz. This looks to be the same as the QN90A and QN90B. You can see right here, action movies, sports, and games look smooth and crisp up to 4K 120Hz. With Motion Accelerator Turbo Plus enhancements, you'll virtually eliminate your lag and lessen the blur. This works magically, and I say the word magic because you need to see it before you decide if it's worth it to you. 4K 60Hz gaming will look beautiful on this QD OLED. But QD OLED is already fast enough. I played Forza Horizon 5 on the QD OLED monitor, and I found the motion and speed of the panel to be very fast at 60 Hz. I had no complaints other than it being 16:9 with black bars on the sides playing on Xbox Series X. I know I can play it on the PC, but many PC games already have the 21:9 aspect ratio. I'm just seeing here my Xbox Series X, which many games are not on PC, how it looked on the QD OLED monitor, and it was really nice. But with black bars on the sides and a smaller picture than I'm used to, a 55-inch TV would look amazing, and with the smooth gaming motion that it has, all your content at 30 and 60 FPS would look amazing on this TV with that QD OLED technology. Again friends, I'll be able to showcase that here on the channel, as I am one of the people that love smooth motion gaming, smooth motion TV. Don't let anyone tell you what's right or wrong on the TV with the settings. If it looks good to you, enable it, and if you don't like it, disable it. There is no right and there is no wrong. I personally need it, I love it, and seeing how beautiful the Sony A95K QD OLED TV is going to look, because it will be brighter than this TV because the Sony has a heatsink. So those images will look more professional, accurate, beautiful with that increase in brightness. And I would say this awesome Samsung QD OLED TV is more for gamers for HDMI 2.1. The Motion Accelerator Turbo Plus, which I personally need, and I will show you or try to show you the differences because that is a gamer's must. It makes all your standard 4K 60Hz content look like 4K 120Hz-ish. But with this OLED technology, QD OLED speed of the panel versus a mini LED VA panel on my QN90A, I really want to see the differences. And anyway, when I use a monitor, I usually use it in the daytime with the windows open, And for TV usage, I usually turn off the lights, turn off everything, so I can have just my display playing. So the infinite contrast and that amazing color will be right up my alley, especially with the gaming features. So it's something to consider for your next TV, and I will be showcasing that TV, of course, my wider range of monitors on the channel. Now moving over to the Alienware versus Samsung monitors, we're going to go picture by picture before we get into some video, and I want to explain to you what I'm seeing and why I need a 55-inch version of this awesome QD-OLED technology. And just to let you know, I do have the Alienware on HDR ON mode with HDR 1000. All your SDR content will look brighter in HDR mode. If you move the slider all the way to the right, I have found on this monitor that all SDR content looks almost double in brightness. So if I haven't stated before, all my videos is with HDR on the PC and moving the SDR slider all the way to the right in RPG mode to get that extra kick in color and HDR 1000 peak. And on the Samsung Odyssey G7, I do have it on custom mode with a black equalizer of 11, as it's less crushed than 13 or on Cinema Preset. Of course, both monitors at 100% brightness. Local dimming is on the G7. Now you can see here the reds look vibrant and punchy on the Alienware, but if you do notice, it is lower in brightness and the G7 really is brighter. I would say, if I'm just eyeballing it here, as Alienware is rated at 250 nits in a white full screen mode, while the G7 is rated at 350 plus, because those local dimming zones kick in and push it into the 400-500 territory. But you can see right here, the G7 is looking brighter in every single image. Right here, the G7 does look brighter with that white highlight. Again, these are fast moving transitions, but right here, the G7 16:9 ratio looks awesome and the white highlight is winning on the G7. In scenes like this, where it's transitioning and it's already a low in brightness screen or image, the Alienware, even though it's rated at HDR 1000, you can see it's not 3 to 4 to 500 nits. This is a 250 nit on the left side, and it's at least 320, 350 on the right. You can easily see it with her face. The Alienware is lower in brightness, and that's why I've always said it in previous videos. You gotta feed your Alienware monitor with awesome, contrasty, bright HDR images. The more HDR, the better it will show off its power. Colorful images like the wallpaper engine that I showed in my last video. Things like that make this monitor really stand out. But when I do a versus video, you can easily see in certain scenes, even OLED technology has its limits. And while black is inky black on the OLED panel, and it has way less crush than I've ever seen on a monitor, in scenes like this, sometimes it just doesn't have enough brightness. Even with HDR mode and HDR 1000 peak at its max, sometimes it just can't win. You can see with all these pictures, the G7 wins in every single instance on brightness. But again, this is a versus video, and when you compare something like the best VA panel on the market today at 350 nits in SDR mode, but with the local dimming able to achieve 400 to 500 nits in certain situations, the G7 really shows its power. And you all know that the Odyssey Neo G8 will be here day one on the channel, as we are Odyssey freaks on this channel. We are gonna get that here to versus it against the G7, G70A, and of course this QD-OLED monitor. And I'm telling you, by what we're looking at right now, the G7 easily beats the Alienware in brightness. So you know the Neo G8 is rated at a typical 600 nits in power. That is crazy good. That's gonna look like the Aorus FE43U in total brightness with 1000 zones of mini LED local dimming power. All these technologies are amazing, and I can't wait to try that and show that here on the channel. Again, friends, you know when I show you monitors, I try to help you make an awesome buying decision. I never try to sell you anything, as I own all these monitors. It really doesn't matter which monitor you buy or TV. I love doing this. I love showing off these technologies. Thankfully, I've been able to get these technologies here to show you. And of course, I have my preferences. And we'll be getting to a top 10, top 20 in the future, as I'm setting up everything to be able to do that. But both of these monitors are amazing. They offer different technologies for your different needs, from gaming to work. You can easily see here the 1800R curvature on the Alienware is so much easier on the eyes. I can easily edit on the Alienware, while I cannot edit on this 1000R curve on the G7. It is pronounced, it is drastic, and that's a good thing for gaming. I play Civilization 5 or Age of Empires 4, no problems whatsoever on either monitor. It's just editing I cannot do it on the G7. It is too hard. I can't line up my lines properly because of that crazy curve. So that's more of a gamer-centric immersion monitor, while the Alienware is a work and play. And it's easy on the eyes. I mean, they're both easy on the eyes. I haven't had a problem on either monitor, but I do find the OLED a little bit easier, and maybe because it's lower in brightness. And now moving on to true 16:9 content. You can easily see how 16:9 content looks much more natural. That's what we see on TV. Don't mind the flicker on the Samsung. That's just the camera picking that up. You never see that in real life. But here in this mode, it's more evenly matched, as there is no highlights or anything. It's just a full screen. So that's why I'm trying to show you. You can see with the fans again, even with my controlled black equalizer, it's still showing black crush on the G7. I can't lower the black equalizer anymore, as if I do, I lose that contrasty VA image. So that's why I like to keep it in custom at 11, as in cinema preset, it would crush it crazy style, and the highlights would look better, but I don't want to see a crushed image. Even though I like a bright, impactful image, there are limits, and you don't want to black crush anything. But right here, I would say the G7 wins in this content for sports. Again, the QD-OLED monitor is made for ultra-wide gaming. That's what you're going to get out of it. That's how you get the best out of it. For work and play in ultra-wide resolutions and aspect ratios, the QD-OLED monitor wins. And in 16:9 content, easily the G7 wins, in my opinion. And that's why I said earlier, I got to get that Samsung TV in-house to be able to show you, because that's going to be amazing. Here with Xbox Gaming, again friends, it looks crystal clear, but the G7 does look brighter. And I would say if you're really considering upgrading from a G7 to this Alienware, I honestly would tell you, wait for the Neo G8. If you're already on the G7 bandwagon, like I am, and you love your monitor, there's no need to jump and get the QD-OLED, at least not right now. Wait for the Neo G8, as that is the true upgrade, the true successor to the G7. As the Neo G9, while amazing, is just too ultra-wide for my liking, but it's still a beautiful monitor. So I would say, so if you're asking me, from a G7, should I get a QD-OLED monitor? Ultra-wide, I would say no. Wait for the Neo G8. Let's test that out. Let's see how that looks. You know it's going to be here day one. So wait for my videos if you'd like to help you make an awesome buying decision. You know I'll be making many videos on both monitors, on the Alienware and when the Neo G8 is released. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Alienware, but it's really made for PC ultra-wide gaming. Don't buy it for 16:9 content. But again, you do what you gotta do. I'm just trying to give you my opinion to help you if you're undecided. So again, friends, these are two amazing monitors. I love this technology. VA, Mini LED, and QD-OLED. It's going to be fun to see how the LG C2 42-inch monitor performs when it's released, as that is a max PC monitor size, because you need to fit it on your desk. A lot of people can't fit anything bigger. 48-55 would be too big for your eyes sitting too close to your monitor. A lot of people's desks aren't that deep in depth, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? If that's what you want, you get it and you'll be happy. The good thing is I have a perfect stand to versus the QLED versus the QD-OLED that's coming. So that's going to be really fun, as that smooth motion gaming is something that I need, and I want to showcase that here. Remember friends, I always talk to you from the heart, as I use these monitors and TVs, and these are features that I truly think should be talked about more. You may not know about it, you may not need it, but it's good to know about it in case you were interested in that specific feature. So friends, if you found this video helpful, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on a future QD-OLED TV or monitor video. I'll see you guys next time.